Packers giving up 8, Greg. 8. Some folks are really confident. Are you that confident?
I am. I have the Packers winning this game by 10 points.
Ooh.
I mean, I think it could be interesting for a while, but the reason I like the Packers so much is if you see this offense, you see it coming together. Romeo Doubs is about to have the best season any rookie has ever had with Aaron Rodgers. Better than James Jones, better than Devontae Adams, better than Jordy Nelson. This kid can do it all. And then I watch and Alan Lazard is doing Alan Lazard things again. Randall Cobb, I got to say, he had a little bit of juice last week. The running game's been great. I feel like they're slowly putting it together, and this offense is going to be all the way back soon. I think this is a week they might do it. They might go over 30, even higher than my projections.
So you want to switch it, 30-14?
Sure.
Okay, might as well. Rocket ship for you. I mean, that does change other things, but whatever. I have a 9-point win in favor of the Pack in this one. When I look at this matchup, and yes, we have Daniel Jones back, which is very good for the Giants. And the Giants are for real at 3-1. This is not to take anything away from them. But one area that they're not so great is allowing rushing yards between the tackles. So when I look at A.J. Dillon's opportunities and Aaron Jones, but specifically A.J. Dillon, rushing between the tackles, the Giants are giving up 5.7 yards per rush in between the tackles. This is a key area for, both running backs, but specifically Dillon. This is a big mismatch, which is going to force more throwing downs for the Giants, which is going to lead to unfavorable outcomes. So,
you're like, I don't want to take anything away from them, but we all have them losing by 9 or 10 points in a neutral site game.
But they're missing
taking something away from them.
They're missing a lot of pieces, right? They're missing a lot of pieces. Daniel Jones is banged up. It's not like he's sitting there being like, I'm the healthiest I've ever been, right? And that is the most yards per rush allowed between the tackles. So.
Yeah, and we talked about meme alerts. Rachel does have a 10-point win for the Green Bay Packers, but I believe in the Giants. I believe that they will lose this game by 10 points. I've also got the Packers, so that is a meme alert. Yeah, it is good that Danny Dimes is back. It is not good that he's hurt a couple of weeks. The Packers rushing defense has looked pretty good. They don't look as good. The numbers kind of get thrown off because Tampa only ran for 34 yards. So maybe Dimes gets involved in the run game. Either way, there's just not enough talent on the outside to bother the Packers, so I've got them by 10. Let's get to a game that we see as a little bit more competitive, a game we're looking forward to coming up on Sunday Night Football. That is Joe Burrow and the Bengals against Lamar Jackson, Mark Andrews, and the Baltimore Ravens. Sunday Night Football. We've wanted a primetime game that's good. We feel confident that these teams will deliver two of the best in the AFC. The Ravens lost a tough one a week ago, Cynthia. Here they are at home again. How do you see this one going?
Well, I'm not going to be popular in Baltimore because I'm picking the upset here. 26-25. I have the Bengals winning this matchup. One area that's interesting when I look at this Bengals defense, which is cause for concern, which could make me wrong, is the fact that they haven't seen a designed quarterback run this season. They're the only defense in the NFL who hasn't seen a designed quarterback run. They can run in Baltimore, and you know what happens with run? Play action. Another area where Lou Anarumo needs to make an opportunity to create a stop here, because if you look at this play action situation, Lamar Jackson averaging 10 yards per attempt using play action. That's tied for 4th best. And where do the Bengals rank? Well, they're tied for 22nd in allowing passing yards off of play action. So these are two areas where the Ravens could make me wrong.
I'm surprised here. When the model goes this far off of the number,
the number.
Usually there's some underlying analytics that just doesn't like it. And yet I feel like the Ravens this year have been the stronger team in terms of their analytics. I'm surprised. Why do you think this is?
Well, when you mean stronger in terms of analytics, like I've been more right about them?
I just mean like it's not like the Bengals, to me, look like they've been a overly lucky team to be 2-2. Like they haven't done anything too special. That's what I'm trying to say.
No, but there's some issues with the Ravens too, right? So it's kind of what is your best versus what is their best, and how does it match up? And there's a lot of familiarity between these two teams. Obviously, they play twice a year, so I'm looking for a big game for Jamar Chase and probably Tyler Boyd.
Yeah, and Rachel has picked the Baltimore Ravens to win at home 31-27. I am going to join Rachel on that. Cynthia was just talking about
prime number,
and some problems. I think Jason Pierre-Paul coming to this team and playing from the jump, 86% of the snaps, and one of their best defensive performances of the year against Josh Allen. I don't think it's a coincidence. Peters, despite that agitation with the play calls that is going to be discussed ad nauseum if things go south this season, he's getting better his 3rd game back. I think there's a lot of reason for Baltimore to be optimistic. I just think that the number of 3.5 that it's got bet up to is a little bit too much. I think they do hop over that number, though. 25-21. I believe in the Ravens.
These two teams are surprising. I have the Ravens winning this game too, 27-23. And I'm surprised because
prime number?
Yeah, another one.
Prime number?
I'm surprised that neither one of these teams has run the ball well. And it's why I'm not picking the Bengals. They're averaging 3.1 yards per carry this year. That is the worst in the NFL. I don't think they're going to be able to run on this Ravens team, even without Michael Pierce, who can get it done. The Ravens also have struggled. J.K. Dobbins just doesn't look like the same guy. I think they'll actually miss Justice Hill, who's now out with an injury. At least he had some explosive element. But you mentioned the design runs that the Bengals haven't faced from a quarterback. That's the difference. One of these teams has Lamar Jackson, and the other doesn't. And this Ravens team remembers that the Bengals dropped 82 points on them in 2 blowout wins a year ago. I don't think that's going to happen again.
Joe Burrow's watching this game, and he's like, you just said they don't have a Lamar. They've got Joe Burrow.
Yeah. Is he getting it done on the ground right now? I mean,
he
he's
doesn't
like
need to.
running
He can
around because he's under so much pressure.
One thing that J.K. Dobbins does is it takes the tells away. I think the play options with Justice Hill were a little bit limited.
Okay.
And so J.K. Dobbins opens things up. I feel good. Greg's making me feel better about the Baltimore Ravens.
Nice.
In my pick. In this one, how sweet it is. It's time for the Drive to Excellence presented by Mercedes-Benz. And the team that's currently the most excellent win and loss-wise, that is Philly right now. Greg, they're getting 5.5 in the desert against Kyler and company. How do you feel about that number in the game?
I feel like 5.5 isn't nearly enough. I'm going way over that. The Eagles win this by a couple of touchdowns. The Cardinals, to me, are one of the worst 2-2 teams. The reason they blitz so much is because they don't have the personnel. Some teams do it because, it fits with their mindset. Now they're going to do it against Jalen Hurts. And I got to say, Jalen Hurts actually has struggled against the blitz relative to everything else he's done this year. He's just at 50% completion. All of his numbers are down. That's how the Bucs beat them in the playoffs a year ago. So the Cardinals probably look at this, they're going to say, we're going to blitz them like crazy, but it's also because they don't have any true pass rushers. They don't have enough cornerbacks who can cover one-on-one. And A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, when you blitz them, you're going to leave your cornerbacks in single coverage, and they're going to make you pay. To me, this is one of the best teams in the league against one of the worst teams in the league in terms of the Cardinals, in terms of being too imbalanced where they just don't have enough personnel. I don't think it'll be close.
Okay, so let's put some numbers to that because I kind of think the same thing, but I came up with a different result, a little bit closer for me, just a 3-point win, 27-24 in this matchup. So the blitz, you talk about that. You're right, the Cardinals do blitz. They rank 21st in pressure percentage, which is not great, and they blitz at the 3rd highest rate.
That's terrible.
Not great. Then you also have the fact that Jalen Hurts has these outside threats. You've got Devonta Smith and you've got A.J. Brown. You've got these deep threats on every down. And then, of course, you always have Jalen Hurts can beat you on the ground, too. And Miles Sanders has started to really look good as well. So the coverage must change. I believe Vance Joseph, when you look at his past history of how he's adapted, takes about 4 games. What game are we on?
Oh, okay.
We're on game 5.
I'm going to say, yeah, the model always kind of like
We're on game 5.
I've noticed this.
Well, that's because we made it to game 5. He has 4 games where there's not a lot of adjustment. But in game 5, there tends to be more adjustment. You're right. They don't have the pressure front personnel. But there are some other solutions that they could come up with. They do have their linebacking core is a little bit stronger than maybe. And of course, we can't get through the segment without me talking about Budda Baker, contractually obligated, because he's excellent.
Yes, excellent. And he is, right? You talk about the horses for the Cardinals. That is, Budda Baker would be the source. And how much does Vance Joseph need to blitz? Well, as Greg mentioned, as Cynthia mentioned, maybe a lot. We'll see if the numbers play out. But 5.5 is a bit rich for my taste. A road favorite.
Ooh.
Shout out to Miles Sanders, finally getting the touches and the opportunity, as we do have a meme alert because Rachel has picked the Iagales as well. I'm a huge Jalen Hurts guy. His 5.3 average in yards per carry is great. Miles Sanders is averaging 5.4 yards per carry right now since he's entered the league. I think he goes over a Bill yet again, 27-23 Eagles.
Okay, so it's a meme alert, but we're split on the number. You and Cynthia have a close game.
Yeah, because we believe in Vance Joseph, and it sounds like
we believe in Kyler Murray. Actually, to be honest with you, there's a lot of goods that Kyler Murray can basically do. It takes away a lot of it. We didn't even talk about him. So.
Just by himself. If your teammates aren't necessarily working out, the play call's not working out, let Kyler run around for 26 seconds and throw a touchdown. This is a tweet from the Chiefs. They say it's Raider week. Remember, the Raiders won in Arrowhead, and then they drove around the stadium in celebration. Next Gen Stats says it was a top speed of 9.4 miles per hour. I made that up. But it was a disrespectful trip around the stadium. It made the Chiefs
weird.
mad.
But it's a weird thing to do.
You think it's weird?
I definitely think, like, go home.
Okay.
Like, you live in Las Vegas. Go have fun. Like, what are you doing?
Okay, so it's weird to drive around the stadium.
New coaching staff, new everything, whatever. So this is weird.
Maybe Rachel is taking that into consideration as well because she's got 35-21, a win for Kansas City at home. Cynthia, they're favored by a touchdown and a half point. What is your view of this particular football event?
I have a touchdown and a full point.
Oh.
So 8 points.
That's 8.
30-22. I want to give a big shout out to the Chiefs O-line, which looked incredible last week against the Bucs. It allowed this run game to look like something that we really didn't expect. I mean, you and I are on a fantasy show, Patrick. We're always like, dicey at best. But both Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Isaiah Pacheco combined for 155 yards. The Next Gen stats showed that CEH earned 20 rushing yards over expected and Pacheco 18.
Both good.
That's really good. So anytime it's over expected, this is good stuff. Under expected, not so much.
I'd like the Raiders to keep this closer this week. And it's because of their running game. I do have the Chiefs winning this game 33-27. I think it's going to be an offensive game. But you mentioned how Vance Joseph takes about 4 weeks to get ready. Josh McDaniels in his running game, actually 1 week less. He got it going a week ago. I started to see some old school Patriots power gap running, and that's completed when you have a running back like Josh Jacobs, who is moving like he did as a rookie, where not only is he running people over, but he's making people miss. Look at that little jump stop. I mean, I'm not going to say that's LaDainian Tomlinson-like, but it's a little bit with the lateral juice. I love it. And this is a good Chiefs run defense, so it's not an easy matchup at all. But I really mean it that I saw something in terms of the cohesion with a really undermanned offensive line that they really knew what they were doing a week ago. I think it's going to be a weapon. They're going to be a good running team, and that can keep the game closer.
Yes, closer, I think. We can go ahead and meme alert this because I am also taking the Kansas City Chiefs at home in this divisional game, 34-31. Not a blowout, not a touchdown plus or a touchdown plus a whole point, as Cynthia gave. But I do respect what Josh Jacobs did a week ago. I also saw Devontae Adams get a whole lot of targets against Patrick Surtain. He was wearing him like a tuxedo, but Derek Carr was still throwing him the ball, still giving him options. And considering the couple of weeks before that, where it was like, is Devontae being incorporated into this offense? I'm not as worried about that. I am not necessarily saying they're playing good enough football to beat KC at home right now. So 34-31, a Harrison Butker. Is Butker playing in this game? A field goal by somebody from the Chiefs to win this one. So here's an opportunity for us to take a look at this. Oh, looking forward to the Cowboys visiting SoFi Stadium to take on Matt Stafford and the Rams, who have had a rough go in these past couple of weeks, but are still getting 5.5 at home against the Dallas Cowboys. And I am looking at these quarterbacks. Cooper Rush is a winner. He's won. Wins aren't a quarterback stat. You say, well, they are with Cooper Rush because we have the best research department in the world, and they're really good. And the best numbers they have for Cooper Rush are that he's 4-0. It's like the only thing that shows up.
He's played pretty well.
It's that he wins.
Well.
I think Stafford plays better. Rachel says the Cowboys win this one. I've got the Rams winning it 24-14 because Matt Stafford has done more than just win. He's occasionally been a good quarterback, and I think he bounces back, and the Rams win this one.
I disagree. I have the Cowboys winning this game.
I'm telling your daughter.
2017. I know that I'm not going to be popular at home at all with this one. Like, I'm sorry. Hey, the Rams won the Super Bowl last year. Remember that. It's week 5. It doesn't matter. But when I saw this matchup, I thought this is the worst possible matchup. This Cowboys defense against this Rams offensive line, which is still banged up. They get David Edwards back, but it's all mixed up in the middle. Remember that old, canard, like, hey, never blitz Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford versus the blitz is unbeatable. You know what the 49ers said about that last week? They said, yeah, that makes sense when your offensive line is functional. It is no longer functional. You know who blitzes a lot more than they used to? The Dallas Cowboys. They don't even need to. Their pressure rate, sky high. Their blitz rate, surprisingly high. You know why they can mix it up each and every week? Because they got a great coordinator, and they have great continuity, and they have great talent. They've got everything, so they can change what they do on a week-to-week basis. When you've been together as long as most of this Cowboys defense has, you can change your game plan each week. It's like us Cynthia. We've been doing this show so long. We have such great continuity. You can throw anything into the rundown. We're going to roll with it, and we're going to excel like the Cowboys.
Is that why you ditched me last week for London?
Well, I mean,
because you're like, I don't even need her anymore. I'm over this.
That was,
whatever. I'm going to London. Things are better. Well, we're on the opposite side of this, and I'll be more popular in your family than you will be because I have 24
yes.
to 22. And this is for Greg's daughter. So when I look at this one, I also want to point out that the Cowboys O-line has been a little bit dicey too. And Aaron Donald still is Aaron Donald. Both of these O-lines are troublesome to me, especially considering how strong the defensive fronts are for both. We've seen all of this run stuffing. I don't think Aaron Donald gets enough love in the run stuffing department either. Both of these things matter. I think Cooper Rush will have a much harder day against Aaron Donald. Perhaps he'll get that dreaded number 1 in the L column here, 24 to 22.
I love it. We're evenly split. We've got the two folks who went to London taking Dallas, and then the two folks who were here next to SoFi Stadium, which is right behind us, taking the Rams.
I have a feeling Cowboys fans are going to be taking over SoFi Stadium too. Just a little prediction.
A little insight into people moving into SoFi. So split here. Let's talk about where we agree.
Okay.
These are our sweeps to get the meme alert for all of these games.
Our teams are playing each other.
Yeah, Patriots, Lions, and this has been a tough one for me because Bailey Zappi is expected to start this game, and yet I think I hear something.
What do you hear?
I think that's Bill Belichick's music. Here he comes. Oh, he's coming out.
No high fives.
I think I need to change this pick. Forget about meme alert here. This is the spot where Bill Belichick ignored all those Lions fans. There he is. I really do think the Patriots have played better the last couple weeks. They've looked like a better team to me than the Lions. So even with Zappi in, I'm taking the Patriots.
You mean the number 1 offense?
In the entire NFL.
In the entire NFL.
Well, you know how you lose games with the number 1 offense when you can't stop anyone on defense. So that counts too. Yes.
Bailey Zappi just lighting it up.
I'm thinking more Ramondre Stevenson. I'm thinking Damian Harris. The Patriots have been moving the ball quite well. And, you know, the Lions, yes, they have the number 1 offense, but they fall down by 20 every week, and then they just throw all day.
Okay.
You stop disrespecting my Lions like
note.
that. That's my job.
These are Greg's
on this
kneecaps.
Show.
Readily available.
No.
And there's a coffee here that you can't see.
This is like the first time in 4 years that you've actually picked the Lions, so don't
Exactly.
pretend, yeah.
It means something. It means something.
I'm taking the favored team in this game, by the way.
Greg's
all right. Move on.
His picks in the middle of the show. Let's get some quick picks. We'll see if Greg changes some of these. Bills favored by 14. Cynthia, how do you feel?
I feel as though the Bills are going to win this one in a very strong matchup, 31-15, so that's 16 points. When I look at Kenny Pickett, he did a lot of good things last week. We did see he stood in pressure. Whoa, he's doing really fast right now. Really fast. But I saw a lot of really, especially on a pass to Pat Freiermuth, where he was an 18-yard reception. He stood
there it
in the
is,
pocket.
right there.
Exactly. You just pause your DVR and slow it down to half speed. So ultimately, I think that he's going to be better than expected, but this is a very strong Bills team despite missing some pieces in their secondary. Jordan Poyer is not playing in this one, so that will be a big problem.
Dawson Knox and Isaiah McKenzie out for the Bills, too. I think it could be closer than expected.
One big takeaway from that video, no ball hit the ground. No, it was either picked off or it was caught. Unfortunately for the Jags, Trevor Lawrence could not say that. He was putting the ball on the turf a ton in the rain. Now he's got the Houston Texans, though, Greg. What do you see in this one where the Jags are giving up 7?
I have the Texans keeping it a little closer than expected, but the Jaguars winning this game 21-17. The Texans have won 8 straight games in this matchup, so the Jaguars have had the number 1 overall pick 2 straight years. I'm not really ready to just be handing out 7 points. And last week, when the Texans fell way behind, Davis Mills started throwing on 1st and 2nd down a little more often instead of Lovie Smith just being like, oh, we're coming off the bus running. We're going to run. And you know what? Davis Mills looked better than he did all year. Let's throw the ball a little more 1st and 2nd down. Let's remember those good times when he beat the Jaguars a year ago and at least keep it close.
I mean, I have an 8-point win here, so a little bit more than 7. But I think the difference is you're going to have to get, if you want to beat the Jags, you need to get to their quarterback, and they need to give a lot of pressure. That was the formula. That's what we saw with the Eagles. And I just don't think that the Texans will be consistently able to get to that point where they're really pressuring Trevor Lawrence that much. So
they own the Jaguars.
Oh.
The Jaguars are going to run. They're going to run the ball.
Bucks.
Still looking for a touchdown in that game.
Taking on the Falcons. Let's get to some quick picks because in this matchup, it's Bucks giving up 10 points. I do have the Falcons covering. because that's what the Falcons do. Also, Rachel's picking the Bucs here, but Chris Godwin, 104 receiving yards, 9 receiving touchdowns. This is in 7 games against Atlanta since 2018. Chris Godwin, big in this one. Tom and company play better, but the Falcons cover because, again, that's what Art and Marcus and these Falcons have seemed to do.
I mean, be careful, fantasy managers, because tight end situation. Where's Kyle Pitts? He doesn't seem to.
He's out. He's
out. And then Cordero Patterson also out. So I'm a little scared for them to keep it close. But you're right. Arthur Smith usually does find a way.
This has been a get-right game for the Bucs the last 2 years since Brady got there. Over 30 points every time.
Yep. The trends, you have to look at the numbers. Let's go elsewhere to a team that's given Tom some problems historically. That's the Saints. Cynthia, you have the Saints winning this game by how much?
Yeah, so this is a pretty big win. It's a full touchdown win.
Oh.
Again, a bunch of missing pieces here, but you know who's not missing? Saints secondary. This isn't a mean pick to Geno. We still love Geno.
Got him stuck on 19 points.
That's because this defense is a much improved. Look at the difference between that and the Lions defense. It is completely different. So not only is the pressure up front different, but also defense on the back end is completely different as well. So it's not shade, it's not slight. It's just the fact that this defense is actually very, very good. So all about that secondary. This is going to be much.
Well, they're going to have to be good going up against one of the top teams in the league in terms of expected points added on offense. One of the most efficient offenses. I get the Saints winning, but I do think 5.5 points is too much. That's disrespectful to the Seahawks. And that's a defense that does tend to improve under Pete Carroll after they figure out what they have early in the season. So I'm hoping they improve because they're the worst defense in the league maybe right now.
Speaking of disrespectful, if you would like to write to Geno Smith and tell him that Greg Rosenthal has picked his team to lose on 2 consecutive weeks,